It's Mr. Cleveland, by the way. Thank you. The NBA Supermax contract, a disaster waiting to happen.
Part of the collective bargaining. When the NBA implemented the Supermax contract in
Y'all can see
2017
me?
as part of the collective bargaining agreement, the contract itself was designed to keep NBA stars loyal to their franchises and to give teams the most leverage and ability to retain their stars. It was yet another.
Oh. Okay. Make y'all see me better. I ain't want the brightness up too much. That's all.
Attempt to reward teams for drafting well and offering their stars the most incentive to stay with their team and not simply move to a bigger market or a better situation to a team with other stars. But in today's league, some might call it a trap, one that can hamstring franchises with little way out. Is it a blessing for small markets? Hell, even for some of the bigger markets in the league, or a
It's Mr. Cleveland, by the way. Thank you. That's what I meant to say.
way out? Is it a blessing for small markets? Hell, even for some of the bigger markets in the league, or a curse that handcuffs teams for years? Because thus far, in just the 8 years of the implementation of the NBA Supermax contract, there has been more regrettable deals than success stories under the Supermax, and it does make you question if the Supermax is actually hurting teams in the NBA more than it does good. So in this video, we're diving deep into the world of NBA Supermax contracts, how they work, the pros and cons, and whether they actually help or hurt teams and players alike. Be sure to subscribe if you enjoy this type of content, though, as it really does help me out. We are nearing 100,000 subscribers, and I do very much appreciate it. Now, the reason this whole topic piqued my interest, because we've obviously known about the Supermax contract for quite some time, but after we learned that Kate Cunningham was selected to the All-NBA third team, which triggered the Rose Rule provision, where a player who makes an All-NBA team, still on their rookie scale contract, entitles them to what is the equivalent of an NBA Supermax, even though it's not called the Supermax, as that's designated for veteran contracts only, which I'll explain what that means in a little bit. But the Rose Rule essentially allows teams to increase the value of their stars' rookie contract extensions from a max of 25% of the cap to 30%. And because Cade Cunningham got the All-NBA nod, his rookie max contract
That
extension went
move
from
was
a
crazy.
5-year, $224 million deal to now $269 million, an increase of $45 million over the life of the contract, which represents the bump from 25% to 30%. And while some will say, well, what's the big deal? You're talking about a player making $8 to $10 million more a year under this bump in salary for a player that is an up-and-coming star, a franchise player for the Pistons. Well, normally this wouldn't be as much of an issue under the old CBA, but like I discussed in my last video,
I just, I mean, when you really look at it, it's like, if these players, like, is it the players' fault or is the league fault? And I'll say this: yes, get your money, but at the same time, like, if you watch Nightcap, I'm pretty sure you heard Ocho say this. What can't you do with 150 mil? What can't you do with 150? I don't know if I'm saying that right. What can't you do with like 200 million? What can't you do with 150, for example, or 100? Like, instead of taking the 200, take the 100. What can't you do with 100 that you could do with two? You know what I'm saying? Like, I guess if you're trying to buy the most expensive whatever in the world, but it's like, realistically though, do niggas really like yes, get your money, but it's like at the same time, realistically though, if a team offer you what, two something, what, then Tatum get like three something, so it's like, yes, you want to get your money, but it's at the same time, if you want to keep the team around you better, you want to win, you want to look at the legacy side of things, bro, y'all getting paid good. Y'all getting paid at all-time high. Y'all don't even have to do this shit no more. Versus like the players who had, when they first came, they was barely get paid anything. They got to take the best they can get. Now it's like, y'all at the point now, y'all don't have to take the most. Y'all can take the Jalen Brunson way. Take 100 mil, 125, and instead of the 250 and just break it up with the team so that people can stay. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not mad if you get your money though, but just don't complain when your team not good. That's all.
the
Yeah.
implementation of the new luxury tax aprons under the new CBA really limit what franchises can do to get the requisite talent around their star players when they're making 25% to 30% of the cap, especially when you draft well and end up drafting multiple star players. Simply put, teams can no longer afford to keep their star players together while being subjected to the major penalties of being
When did
moved to the
Cade get
CBA.
braids though? I don't remember
So in
this
this
at any
case of
point.
Kate Cunningham, it actually is wild to think that your franchise player, your young star, making All-NBA at just the right time before their contract extension kicks in, is now a franchise-altering disaster, especially when we know that all the Pistons' young core are all going to need to be getting paid soon. But even more insane, Evan Mobley, after winning Defensive Player of the Year just like Cade, will also see his rookie max extension go from $224 million to $269 million. A deal that went from 25% of the cap to 30%, all because he...
I don't be understanding how certain players be turning down money or like, what? That just sounds so contradictory. Not turning down money, like how they be complaining where they at. It's like, bro, you 200. So what if you get 269 million and you in Cleveland, Ohio? So what? Yeah, it might not be the most interesting city. So what if you in Utah with 300 million, nigga? Boy, it's $300 million. Fun comes to you, nigga. You ain't gotta find fun. Fun comes to you. You got 300 million. You better go find it. Shit, the hell. I don't want to hear. Oh, I'm here, but like I don't want to go there. But I'm going to any team that offer me the bag. I know that's. I know that's not contract. Oh my god! I just regurgitated. Oh my god! What just happened? What just happened, y'all? What just happened?
Prevented him from reaching the 65-game minimum rule. The Cavs
Oh
will now have
damn!
to pay Evan Mobley an additional $45 million because Wemby got injured. Now, taking a step back, for those wondering what a Supermax contract is, this is officially known as the Designated Veteran Player Extension, which allows teams to offer their own players significantly more money and more years than any other team. There are a number of requirements, though, to qualify for the Supermax in the NBA. You have to have 7 to 9 years of service in the league. You must have made All-NBA, MVP, or Defensive Player of the Year in recent seasons. And if you're able to do all these things, MVP, you have to have 7 to 9 years of service. There are a number of requirements, though, to qualify for the Supermax in the NBA. You have to have 7 to 9 years of service in the league. You must have made All-NBA, MVP, or Defensive Player of the Year in recent seasons. And if you're able to do all these things, then you're eligible to earn up to 35% of the salary cap. Like I mentioned, it was introduced as a way to prevent small market stars from jumping ship in free agency. Think Giannis or Damian Lillard, both eligible and both received Supermax contracts. Now, I should be clear, the Supermax isn't all that bad. There are positives that have come from it since it was implemented 8 years ago. Because for both players and teams, when it has worked, it's worked really well. Supermax deals, of course, reward players who stay with the team that drafted them. It's a powerful incentive to build dynasties at home. It's great for team control and continuity. Keeping a superstar long-term provides stability. You can build around them, attract talent, and maintain a team identity. Something that is great for the league, especially at a time when stars...
I'm just looking at this Bradley Beal deal, $57 million a year. He's not even a superstar. It's crazy. Oh shit! I think I accidentally clicked it.
Team to team chasing championships. Supermax money, because the contracts are so much, where you have deals going for over $300 million these days, it is hard to walk away from that as a player. So even
I mean, yeah, it's true, it is, but like realistically though, what can't you do with 300 million that you can't do with 100? Still, like, bro, it's 100 million. You a single person making $100 million, and 9 times out of 10, let's say like 6 times out of 10. Bro, you didn't grow up that bad, bro. Like, you was already doing good. So it's like, bro, stop being greedy, nigga. Slow it down. Share the wealth.
The team's overall future, you throw a massive bag at them like that. It makes them think twice before bolting for, say, LA or Miami. But as much as the Supermax contract is a positive from a player retention standpoint, there are more downsides to the deal that have caused more problems for teams in the long term. Because a Supermax contract can become a franchise's biggest burden. First off, it's obviously a cap space killer. When one player eats up 35% of
okay, I would say this also. If you came from absolutely nothing, Giannis came from nothing. So it's like, I understand it. Like, it's just your whole life just fucking like, it's gotta be the... I like Giannis, though. I respect Giannis. I respect everything Giannis did. I'm not mad at Giannis. I actually like Giannis. I actually respect him. He deserves every penny. Deserves every penny.
To be able to build for the future. See the Philadelphia 76ers as a prime example of today, where you have 2 players on max contracts, one being a Supermax contract in Joel Embiid. And while both players are all NBA level talents, they have not been able to stay on the court. And the Sixers now have little flexibility to build their team for the future, especially if Embiid doesn't come back as the same player and Paul George continues to decline. Staying with that point, I mean, you already
it is crazy though. That nigga got away. Took
that
bag and said, "I'm chilling." But he got hurt though, so.
Which basically leaves dead money on the books of the franchise that signed them. The contracts, generally speaking anyway, are always fully guaranteed. Whether the player gets injured or the star starts aging and declines, they still get paid that money. Teams can be stuck with contracts that no longer match the player's production. Think of players like John Wall, who hamstrung the Wizards after he was no longer the same player he used to be post-injuries. And then a couple years later, Bradley Beal, who got his Supermax deal with a no-trade clause. Both players were good at the time that they signed their deals, but they were not top 10 players in the league level good, and both players...
Well, John Wall is like, hold on, oh, that's not like John Wall just anybody now. Like, John Wall was like, we thought, like, you know what I'm saying? But, like, Bradley Beal was, like, he was getting garbage time. He was just scoring a lot in a garbage team, so they had no expectations. So, of course, he was going to score a lot. In the aspect of Bradley Beal's standpoint, smart man, you did your thing, you played your cards well. I'm talking about ball out, get this money, and then, like, say, but from a team standpoint, it's like, damn, really, dude, you finessed us. But I ain't gonna lie, Bradley Beal, that nigga different, though. Like, he was smart for, like, going off, though. He was just getting garbage time. Like, regardless of him fake man mad, nigga, you got 200-something mil, nigga. You don't give a fuck about winning, nigga. Stop lying. You don't give a fuck about winning. Because if you did, you would sit on the bench. You would have sat on the bench for Phoenix. But now you wanted to start. You had an issue with starting. You wanted to start. Nigga, you didn't care about winning, nigga. Winning was you being on the bench. You come and ball out in the second half like you did in Washington today. So you could have had all the second half. You could have been leading the second half instead of being like a third option on the Suns because you thought you was first or second. You thought you was winning like you ain't a point guard. They're booking at a point. Come on, dog. Like you ain't about winning, nigga. You wanted money, nigga. You got the money, nigga.
Supermax contracts. Now, of course, the Wizards were eventually able to get off both of those deals by buying out John Wall and then trading Bradley Beal. And now you have the Suns stuck with
John Wall.
No way out. And
he did get a good contract too, though.
Their team, despite having two other stars on their roster in Kevin Durant and Devin Booker. How about Russell Westbrook, one of the top players in the league, MVP winner in 2017, gets his Supermax contract shortly thereafter and then falls off and is passed around from team to team before he's eventually bought out of his deal. Damian Lillard, while still an insanely gifted player, a superstar in his own right when he was in Portland, the Blazers rewarded him for his loyalty and being their franchise player and staying with the team despite never really contending. And then Dame eventually asks out of Portland. And now you've got Lillard on his Supermax deal with the Bucks, suffering.
His stuff was reasonable though. They wouldn't build no team, bro. He had a couple teams, but he had to face that Golden State team, Houston team.
Suffering a major injury at age 34, and now the Bucks have very few avenues to improve their roster and build around Giannis. So much so that most believe Giannis will ask out of Milwaukee this summer. Now, the other major downside to the Supermax, because while the goal of the Supermax is to retain your star talent, you also have to be mindful of still maintaining their trade value should you need to pivot. Once a star signs the Supermax, their trade value becomes complicated. The pool of teams willing and able to take that contract is few and far between. And this doesn't just apply to Supermax contracts, but max contracts in general. Under the new CBA, teams are always going to be hesitant in taking on large sums of guaranteed money.
Facts. You gotta really be that dude. I'm pretty sure a team is willing to take up. They was talking about the Knicks thinking about a crazy tsunami package to get Giannis, but it's like at the same time, it's like Giannis. The team was willing to give up a lot for Giannis because they know that Giannis is gonna be good next year. They know that they know what's to come with Giannis. Like he's good. He's not declining. He's only getting better every year. We haven't seen a decline year from Giannis yet.
Of course, there have obviously been success stories with Supermax deals. Giannis led the Bucks to the title in 2020.
But you gotta think, bro. It's gonna be a lot of easy for a lot of, and I'm not saying Giannis. I'm talking about in general for a lot of players to be good because, like, bro, niggas getting this kind of money. You think niggas gonna really be trying, bro? They gonna get comfortable, bro. It's hard to like when you comfortable. Like you gotta really love what you do to really like be like, nah, like I'm gonna keep going hard, like I ain't got nothing. Like, bro, you give these hungry niggas that money, bro, them niggas not gonna be hungry no more. They gonna play a little, they gonna hoop, they gonna get the money, feel good, see that shit drop in their account, start living life, and it's gonna be like, niggas gonna, I'm telling you, bro, you get a nigga enough, he gonna get
MVP winner,
arguably the
top 5 player in the league. Steph Curry changed the Warriors franchise and built a dynasty for that organization. Nikola Jokic, arguably the best player in the league, multiple MVPs, won a championship for Denver. But these are the elite of the elite in the NBA landscape. Megastars, consensus top 10 players in the NBA. When it's a problem is when you see
Jokic, he love this shit, even though he act like he don't.
For one season, get rewarded.
Jokic, like he love it, but he don't, but he do. But like he love the game, obviously. But he give off vibe. Like Jokic, Jokic love it in the sense I'm just gonna come and do my job. So it's like he love it, but he don't, but he do. But really, I'm just coming here to do my job. I'm gonna do my job. Y'all paid me to do the work. Y'all paid me to come to work. I'm gonna work. That's the thing with them foreign players. They come to work. Like if they a superstar, they gonna like you pay me to come and dominate. All right, That's what I'm coming here to do. I'm not here. I ain't gotta do all that shit. I'm just do my job. Y'all do y'all part. I do my part. We good. And they just accept it because he good. You know what I'm saying? That's the thing with Jokic.
Was one of the best players in the NBA, and then the teams are stuck footing the bill and setting their franchise back for years. You have the spectrum here, right, of championship foundation players to long-term anchors that sink rosters. So where does the league go from here, as it relates to handing out Supermax contracts? The 2023 CBA tweaked the rules to discourage teams from hoarding stars and overspending, but the Supermax still remains. As penalties get harsher and harsher, teams may become more selective in handing out those deals. Should every All-NBA player get a Supermax, or should teams reserve it for top 5 level talents only? Perhaps the league should revisit the rules and requirements for being eligible for the Supermax. I mean, in my view, it really should only be reserved for those that are selected to an All-NBA first team. Otherwise, the league will continue to see situations in which teams become poverty franchises for years because of a contract that set them back, or you'll see teams being forced to break up their stars.
They gonna start seeing the
more than long term.
fans get mad at the players. Dude, leave the team. Give us more money back.
Contracts exceeding $300 million.
Yeah, no.
The Supermax is one of the NBA's most powerful tools, but as the old saying goes, with great power comes great risk. For every Jokic or Giannis, there's also a cautionary tale of a Bradley Beal. The question isn't just, can you give out a Supermax contract, but should you? What do you think? Should the NBA keep the Supermax rule in place? Let me know in the comments. As always, be sure to subscribe.
Hey, like I said, dog. Shout out N1 Hoops. Yeah. Shout out N1 Hoops. Yeah, I mean, a lot of these, like I said, a lot of these companies, I say companies. Yeah, y'all, I mean, I think Supermax is a good idea if the bonus money doesn't count towards the salary cap. The way the team will leverage without being penalized for. John Wall, Russell Westbrook has got to be so bad they could only be traded for each other. I mean, well, Russell, he on the minimum now, so it's like, is Russell really ruining anything? Bonuses and getting counted into salary, and OKC good, so it's like, it worked. The NBA should count a Supermax as a regular contract max if only the team that drafts a player gets traded, then it should count fully against the team. This will encourage the players to stick with teams so they can build around them and still reward the team for drafting well. Supermax money should be limited for NBA first team. I don't know why the NBA is making salaries tied with media as a good award. Supermax designed to mistaken believe every team could be their own. Jordan and Kobe, LOL. Oh yeah, the Supermax designed around the mistaken belief that every team could draft their own Jordan and Kobe, LOL. Nah, facts. I don't know why every team be want to give everybody these top deals because they desperate or whatever. But it's like, bro, y'all don't have, like he said, Jordan and Kobe on y'all team. So everybody just like, y'all can't just see a nigga go off once and think like, or have a good decent run and be like, oh yeah, I'm talking about you. Nah, I'm just flat. But no. But yeah, had one decent run and be like, all right, give him the Supermax because y'all are desperate, bro. You niggas like everybody in Jordan and Kobe like that. We leaving that era anyway. You know what I'm saying? So that love for the game shit is over with. That love for the game shit over with. The NBA doesn't need to change the rule. Just good player eligibility by rule doesn't mean the team has to offer it. I hated good players consistently taking minimum deals because too many people take 30 deals. It is selfish. So many bad NBA top contracts. It's the same thing. The NBA is overall worse off. Even Jaylen Brown is not a scorer per game. Is never score per game above 20 and has a Supermax. Like this, would y'all say Jaylen Brown contract overrated? He was hurt though, but he was some, I don't know. It just, is he overpaid? Then he get that big bag though. I think they did slightly overpaid him. I ain't gonna lie. He got a big bag. He nice though. He can hoop, but like he probably low-key got an overpay. I ain't gonna lie. They probably definitely overpaid him. But yeah. That's just how the game goes when it comes to this. Yeah, but he's smart though. But we talk about basketball, we ain't talking about sport. They probably overpaid him though. They overpaid Bradley Beal for sure. It's a lot of players overpaid. PG, it's like it might be overpay. The number of contracts, but yeah, that's gonna do it for the video. Like, subscribe, catch you on this video.